casting on today, I've chosen some chunky wool because that makes it easier. And when you pick up a ball of wool, if you have a look, they all have the same stuff on it somewhere. This one says 6mm needles, and that means that's the needle size you need to get. And all needles have writing on them. I'll see if I can find it for you. The writing is just like there somewhere. There it is. This one is 6.5 because I'm not making a project, it doesn't really matter, but that's all I could find easily. These are bamboo needles. There's lots of different types of needle. There's metal, there's plastic. I love the bamboo. For me, it's just the right mixture of not too slippy, because plastic and metal, it kind of whiz straight off. Although with the plastic, you can rough them up a little bit and that can stop that. The other bonus of bamboo is you can take them on planes, which is really cool. So, casting on. I'm going to get it out and then I'll make the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to be casting on today. There's two ways to cast on. There's a simple one and there's a proper cast on that you would probably use for a project. I'm going to show you the simple one because the unfortunate thing about casting on, it's really tricky. It's probably harder than basic knitting. If you do have a friend that could cast on for you, that would make a big difference. You could, if they're willing to cast on a few sets of needles or just keep, will you cast on for me? If you've got someone that will do that for you, that's great. If you haven't, I'll show you this really basic cast on, which will make life a little bit easier just to get you started on your knitting journey. So you tie a knot, very basic knot, like that, and you pop it onto the needle. And that's your first stitch. Now I'm going to get that little tail end out the way, try and make life easier for us. So you do a loop like that. So you get the wool and you literally turn it round on itself, and then you put that side of the loop through the needle. So I'll show you again. Get the wool, put your finger there, turn it on so you get that crossover, and then you put it that side of the crossover onto your needle. Now if things are going wrong, if you do it like that, it doesn't work, look. If you just loop it round, it won't hold. It's that twist that makes all the difference. So you get your wool. I can't do it now. I've muddled myself. There we go. Get your wool, do a twist and put it on the needle. Wool, do a twist like that, and it's getting on into that side of the twist and onto your needle. Now this is fine for practicing, this cast on. It won't work for a project, and you wouldn't need it to by the time you got up for doing a project. It does get a bit loopy, it does get a bit loose. It's not perfect. But the frustration of not being able to cast on yourself when you're just making mistakes and wanting to start over, and it's so good to have a way to do it if you struggle with the proper cast on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do 10. Do a loop. And it's good to know how many you've got because it's very easy to drop a stitch, gain a stitch, have holy bits. And if you just do your little count, you can think, oh goodness, I've still got 10. It's like, wow, how did that happen? Because it is that tricky. So there's in that side of the loop. So twiddle it round in that side of the loop. And you just pull it tight. You see just a little slip knot really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more to go. Twiddle it round and slip it on. So once you've got your 10, you can try knitting a square. You can do 10 rows and have a little knitted square. Now if you get holes or you lose stitches, gain stitches, that is all really normal. That's just starting to knit, and it doesn't matter. Again, if you manage to do a square, you will need a friend to cast you off, unless you can follow my casting off tutorial. I will be doing that for you. but it's fine if you manage a square and just unravel and start again, or you can try and keep them as keepsakes. It's up to you. So that's the basic cast on. Now I'm going to show you the proper cast on that you would use for a project that would hold fast and you know, do the job really well. Unfortunately, it's quite tricky. So we're going to use the same knot for this one, and this does need the other needle. So we pop the second needle through to the back of the needle. Now I'll show you that the other way. Do you see? Just goes, hoping I can see it still. Yeah, just goes to the back of the needle there. See, it's a hole, it's a loop, literally just to the back. I'll get this tail end out the way, and this is our working wool. So we're going to go round this needle, and this bit is the bit you're trying to catch. So we pull it down, and there it is, look. And that's what you put onto the needle, and that is your second stitch, and you can pull it tight. So now you've got two, you see. So again, through that little bit of wool there, behind the other needle, and then round the needle, and let's look for it. Where's it gone? There it is, you see. And then we pop it on the top, and you've got another stitch. And the brilliant thing about this stitch is it holds firm. It's lovely. It won't go anywhere for you. So through the back of the needle, round, and there it is. Once you know, like with everything, it's super easy. But this learning stage, it's almost like a cruel trick that casting on is quite so tricky. So we're going to go slow because I've gone into auto mode there. Right, to the back of the needle, round, and down. Now, one of the things that makes knitting so tricky to start up is there's lots of little things that you do without thinking about it. I was just observing myself there. So if you see what I'm doing, that little finger's finding the stitch, that one is going through, and then I'm holding that needle, look, with that finger. All these little things that when a new knitter goes, oh, it's all falling out, and you know, there are things that we are doing that you've just learnt to do. And you can't do it all at once. You literally have to do it stage by stage. But there's through the whole round. See, I'm holding up all there, look. And then this finger, I'm holding it so it doesn't slip out as I'm looking for the thing. See all these little tricks that you pick up, and that's just time. There's no way of doing that quickly. So I'll go slow again. Let's have a little count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more to go. So through the back of the needle, there it is. You see the hole there at the back? The working wool. Round that needle that way. Like that. And we're looking for that underneath here. There he is, look. Once you've got to that, you're home and dry really, other than just a little pull and tuck it back onto the needle. So that's the really tricky bit, is finding that loop. That loop there, look. And it really is just finding it. It's just sliding it through and catching it again. But oh, it's tricky. As you'll find, you'll be fed up. It's just how it is. It's just, and then one day, normally once you've got going on the knitting, straight knitting, then you'll be like, oh, for goodness sake, it's so easy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cast on. So feel free to go back and get to grips with it, you know, but it'll chug on through. And I hope that you can cast on and get knitting. If not, don't forget the easy cast on. So thank you for joining me. I hope you'll join me again. I'm going to be running through all the stitches. So lovely. Happy knitting.